It's time for the Empowering You Show. This is a lively television show that is a driving force to positive transformation in every viewer's life. Our goal is simple. It is to elevate our audience members with clear, practical, helpful advice and engaging activities. We're here dedicated to sparking a journey of self growth and empowerment, making sure each episode is a step towards professional and personal achievement. That's how we empower you on the Empowering You Show. So get ready, it's time. Hey, it is time. It's time for the Empowering You Show. I'm so glad you joined in to be with us today. Listen, I am super duper extra fabulous excited. Extra over the top excited about what we got going on. But I got to calm down. So I'm going to let someone else come in while I get myself together. That someone else is a co-host of the Empowering You Show. It is the sensational, smooth, sexy, sassy, always spicy Shawnee Smith. Come on, Shawnee.
Hey. I don't know about always spicy, but you're definitely going to get some kind of zhuzh, though, right? Hello. You know what? Let me do no glasses today. I can see y'all. Let me see. Just saying.
I'm so glad. I mean, it's helpful when you can see us. It's a good thing. I'm just saying.
Well, I feel like when I have my glasses on, although they're clear, I feel like they're sunglasses and I can do whatever, right? And I have to catch myself and check myself like, oh, they can see you. They can see that side eye, so, but it's like I'm another persona when I have my glasses on. So
but it's
so
all good because if they're sunglasses, they need to be, because other people really need the sunglasses. Now that you shining so bright, they gotta have some sunglasses to
okay,
take off.
Shining. Okay.
Shining.
Hey, you say that too fast. You saying my name. I'm just saying.
Say my name. Anyway, here we go. It's a great day. It's a wonderful opportunity for people to jump on and find out what we do. What we do on the Empowering You Show is give you tips, techniques, strategies to up-level your personal and professional lives. Today's no different. We have a spotlight for you later on, but a spotlight for you that if you don't know who this guy is, and many may not, then you need to pay attention, because he is one of the forerunners of public speaking, one of the forerunners that had challenges like some of us do, many of us do, most of us do, but he overcame them. And so we want to showcase different personalities week after week to let you know that you have a talent and a gift inside of you. And let's just get it and stop playing and pushing it back to the sideline. That gift that somebody else told you, go on, sit down somewhere, that wasn't a conference call. That wasn't a conference call. The Father in heaven gave you something when you came here. Let's use that. And it took me a while to figure that out. How about you, Shawnee?
I mean, this is to piggyback off of that. It might turn out that gift that you keep looking aside is probably the very thing that people have tried to bury in you. She talks too much. She's a great student. However, she's quite chatty. Those kind of things. That might be it. And because they couldn't handle it, they tried to silence it. It's not just in school. I know culturally, for me anyway, it is always children should be what? Seen and
not heard.
Right. Yeah. So it was not.
That was back in the day. Because today, baby.
Even still, it's still kind of, the parts where they're, shielded from certain things is definitely not there like it was when I was a kid. I can remember my mom, but we'd be playing full in the middle of a game, playing, me and her. And the phone would ring. She'd say, I'm going to imitate it. Hello? Hold on for a second.
Meaning class.
Not one word. And I knew that meant I'll see you later. Look, That's it. Not
Yeah.
even going. I can't put my cards down right. Nothing.
Won't.
Take yourself and go on about your business and shut the door.
Won't.
You know. So they're not shielded from those things, but those are the things, though. You quiet them and you silence them as they're growing up, and then you're so surprised that they don't flourish as adults because they haven't had really the practice to do so. And then they have to unlearn and relearn who they really are, what their talents really are, and why are they here.
And then you're surprised also that they have a certain talent that you didn't know about. Mm-hmm. That was it for me. I didn't know that two of my children are extremely musically inclined. I didn't know because I wasn't paying attention to that part. Anyway, we have moved on from that time of life and they are flourishing, and I'm so grateful. But yeah, we have to pay attention to our children and understand, watching them, listening to them, as you so eloquently put, that, you know, back in the day, we didn't get listened to. We just do what we were told to do, and quickly, expediently. You didn't talk back. You didn't have an opinion. You didn't have you didn't have a whole lot of
why
say so. Yeah. Right. I was in the grocery store the other day, and I don't go there often, but I was in the grocery store the other day, and this little girl just kept saying, "But why, mommy? But why, mommy? But why, mommy?" Well, and she would answer every single time. She would answer a different answer, and I thought to myself, because I said so. That's why.
Right. Right. And then, so that's not encouraging an independent thought, though, is it? You know. Right. So I always tell my daughter every morning before we get out, she gets out of the car, you know, make sure you're always thinking for yourself, because what? And then she's supposed to respond, because somebody will be thinking for me.
Right. That's a great.
Just waiting to catch you slipping. Right. You know, so
that prepares them, you know, for the world, because the world is a lot different now than it was. Anyway, what we got coming up, Shawty?
So tonight,
6
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tonight, you get the opportunity to get some invaluable coaching that is at a very, 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 very affordable investment, thanks to our show sponsors.
Yes, thank you, sponsors.
You must be in the room tonight to learn how to effectively, not just learn how to, effectively represent your brand so that you can unleash the warrior, this one, within. I'm just saying.
And what are they going to take away? What are they going to take away? That's what I want them to know. What are they going to take away?
The biggest takeaway is going to be a new mindset, so that you have the tools to rep your brand effectively. So you have the tools to communicate, so that you know how to answer the question. So what do you do?
And it's bold.
And people want to hear what you have to say.
Right. We don't really realize that we have a total of 3 seconds to capture attention and 30 seconds to continue the conversation. And what you say in the first 3 seconds is the catalyst or the anchor, the catalyst to continue a conversation, or the anchor that drops your conversation dead in the water. Right. And so most professionals and entrepreneurs have a struggle with articulating exactly, saying what problem they solve. We do it from an expert perspective. For example, I am a communications expert, and so I know how to articulate the words and put them together. But people are not losing sleep at night saying, "Boy, I sure wish they would pay attention to my messages because I don't communicate well." That's a professional explanation. But what they are saying is, people are not listening to my messages, whether I speak or whether I write. People are not taking action on my promotions. People are not jumping into opportunities that I'm posting or that I'm presenting. Or I have a presentation coming up and I'm not quite sure how to even start. That's who this is for.
Right. Or there's a promotion coming up that I want, but I don't know how to make them see me.
Right. You feel like you're not seen. In other words, you feel ignored. If you feel like people should jump in your opportunities and they're not because they're not taking action, or you feel not valued, your offer is not valued, this is where you need to be, because you're going to walk away with how to represent what you do, how you do it, why you are the only option, and the confidence to know that whenever someone asks you that question, you have a solid foundation. Because I know you've taken all of the courses, you've taken the speaker courses, and you've taken the leadership training, and you've been to the branding sessions, and all of that's good. That's not good, but they're just pieces of the entire puzzle. What you really want is what I teach my clients. What you really want is the core of the entire process. And the core of the entire process is you. And unless until you can say what you solve, you will always feel ignored, devalued, and less confident than you can actually be. And that's what we're going to dig deep.
Okay, you're gonna go from I wish they would pick me to who is that? They'll be looking for you.
That's exactly right. And how do you know that, Shani?
Well, I'm kind of living it. Just saying, I'm just saying. I did not have the confidence to share what I do with most anybody, really. I've always kind of, and I'm saying this is the past person, was somebody who was like, oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm like, right. I can do a lot of things, but I just don't talk about them. As I'm afraid to toot my own horn per se. Well, now, honey, I done put a big bulb on it. And I'm like, okay, tooting away. Yes, I can do that, and I can do that well. And you should know this. And people are looking for me. There are influencers contacting me, little old me, as I would have said before. But they're contacting me like, hey, I'd love to see your brand. I'd love to be able to share your brand with my audience. I'm like,
I'd love to collaborate with you. This is the year of collaboration, baby.
Yes.
And if you think you're doing it by yourself, that's not happening.
No, it's crazy even. It's crazy.
To even think so.
To even try to.
Even Jesus had some homies.
12 of them. And what did he tell them to do? He didn't say like just stay in your circle and you guys, you're the clique, and then you guys will do everything. No, that's not how it went.
You've seen the great works I've done. Jesus said, "Greater works will you do." And so I'm out here looking for the greater, right? And I too was like you, Shani. I was hiding the gifts behind under a bushel. I was too afraid to let people see the real bold Barbara. And so I would shrink back and lower my voice and not speak up and speak out. Crazy thing today on prayer circle this morning at 7:30 every morning that I do with a group of ladies. I didn't chime in. I didn't speak up. I didn't say good morning, great rising, because I always say great rising. I didn't say anything. I told Mama before we even got on the call, I ain't talking today. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to sign late. So right at 7:30, so nobody knows who's on, right? We get to the prayer time close to the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. And a lady says, who is leading the discussion, the devotion discussion this morning, says, Miss Barbara, are you out there? Can you pray for Sharita? I looked at him, I'm like, how she know I'm out here? She said, because you've been on every day since we started in November. I said, but sometimes I'm not on. She said, well, she was asking if you was on there. You could have said no. I said, but that's lying on the prayer line. So there you have it. Hearing the voice and wanting
it. And knowing and understanding that somebody's waiting for you. You don't get to have the liberty to say, you know what, I'm not going to show up because somebody's waiting on you to be free. We're here to serve.
Say that again. Say that part again.
We are here to serve. The more selfless we are, the more we get because we're here to serve. So no, you don't have the liberty of getting a voice like yours and holding it to yourself. If you need to hold it to yourself, you need not get on the line. Now, that's what I'm saying for you to tomorrow. Okay. You need not get on the line. If you need to fill your own cup, then fill your own cup. But you got a voice that is setting somebody free.
Well,
and you are on assignment. So do your job.
I am on assignment. Now, while we're on assignment, what we got going? Where are we in this show?
Where are we at this show? You know, let's go ahead and spotlight our superhero.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
This man is so inspirational because there are just a few key people who poured into him, the spirit of him throughout his life. But in the beginning of his life, there were so many people who said what he couldn't be, what he couldn't do. And he let that voice and shut that voice down. Okay. So we're going to see this little clip right now.
If you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number one, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number two, practice OQP, only quality people. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. I found that out. I left all my broke friends. I say, y'all got to go. Because I used to be so broke, I passed the bank and tripped the alarm, you know? And the third thing he said, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
That part right there.
All that part, but yes. And he's funny on top of that. But he is just, his story. Everybody knows, if you know Les Brown, I can say everybody knows him. But if you do know him, you know he's Mamie Brown's boy.
Mamie Brown's baby boy, that's right. And he was left in a tenement building on the floor, and a lady came and it adopted him and his twin brother. And that the rest of it is history. I mean, his hero is that he was persistent. His hero is that he was consistent. His hero was that he knew he had a gift, and he was determined to not let anybody diminish what he came here to do. And he has become one of the most prolific speakers on the planet, bar none, Les Brown. So spotlight to Les Brown. But what was it that kept him going? I mean, he talks about in some of his skits that he was on a radio station and they wouldn't let him be a disc jockey. They wouldn't let him get behind the mic.
Right.
He was creative. He was a creative. He knew that the guy who was on the mic was drinking and slurring his speech, and it wasn't going to be long before he was going to get his opportunity. That's the second thing. Knowing when the opportunity is knocking, because sometimes we don't get that second opportunity.
No.
And he took it upon himself to say to the station manager, this guy's not going to make it. And they told him just to play some music. And he said he would. But what did he do? He got behind the microphone and said, this is Les Brown, Mamie Brown's baby boy. And he started his whole shtick, and they loved it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you just got to take your chance. You got to take the risk and be that bold one to get where you need to be. The door opens, and you can either look at it and be scared, or you can walk in it with faith and know that this is where you're supposed to be.
Who you are and whose you are. I mean, he was referred to as a DT, he says, the dumb twin.
Right. They said he was, what was the word he used?
I can't even pronounce it. Something educably. However he was saying it, but I'm not going to trip on that because, that's not my lane. But when you know you got it, when you know you got that message, and there's a lot like when we talked about with Tyler Perry, even when you know you heard what you heard, let nothing stop you.
Nothing
How
can
does
stop.
somebody who goes throughout their school life being called the dumb twin?
Right. I have a client and business partner right now who was also told that she was not capable of learning. Today she has a PhD. So apparently
The people
she's
are wrong.
capable of learning.
Mhm.
But it's those powerful people in our lives, someone who is in authority and someone who tells you something repeatedly when we are kids, that leaves an impression not only on our spirit but in our psyche.
Yep.
And then it takes us all of our lives, many of us, all of our lives, to come up and come out of what we were told that suppressed a gift that we had all the time. Which is why I say, watch your children. They will tell you and show you what they're gifted at. When I was a little girl, I never liked dolls. I still don't care for them too much, but I love trucks
Okay.
and mechanical things that you put together, things that you take apart. Who knew then that I was an engineer and that I would spend my career in the United States Joint Forces Command as an engineer? It was in me from then. And now I'm always looking for ways to dissect and put together. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to dissect your talk, your gift, your business, service, product to solve the problem that you solve, so that you walk away with confidence, number one, and two, exactly how to put in writing and verbally speaking what you solve. Once you know that, and once you know the audience you serve, it is a wrap.
Right.
Everything
You start to attract. You
Yes.
start to attract your tribe, because
Right.
now you understand who am I looking for? Who is my audience? When you understand who is your audience, you're speaking to them and they come. It's like the Pied Piper effect. They come looking for you.
Right. That's what our friend Dr. Kelly says. What you're looking for is looking for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the ones that say no. They're not your tribe. That was part of my issue. Oh, they said no. Next.
Right.
Now
Next
I know to say
opportunity.
next.
No. N-O. Next opportunity.
That's correct. That's correct. And so
My
I'm
people know.
passionate about helping people solve that problem. And it was hard to unravel what it is I do. I said, well, I can teach people how to have confidence. Yeah, but that's not solving their problem in a way that they understand, right? And
Right.
so I had to do that for myself. I had to figure that part out with my coaches and my mentors. Thank you, Michelle Pippin. Let me shout out you right now. Thank you, Dr. Sesam's Penny. Thank you. All of the people. Thank you, Brian McNeil. Thank you for all of the coaches I've had. Marilyn Crump, thank you for helping me see who I really am. Thank you, Dr. Janetta Waston. Thank you, Dr. Eric Kelly III. Thank you, Miss Corley from the 4th grade, Mr. McCandless from the 6th grade. There were people in my life that told me, and still in my life, that tell me what I'm good at, and how to craft that message was a compilation of all of those people.
Right.
We stand on the shoulders of greatness always. There is not a time that there is an I that there aren't people surrounding me. Thank you, Vanny Gill, my godmother. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for pushing me into the greatness that God has for me. And that's what
It's interesting that you say your parents as well, particularly because you just really did something very special for them in your recent talk.
Yeah.
What kind of talk was that?
I was on a TEDx stage, and
Say
it's
what?
yeah, girl, international TEDx speaker, child. Let me tell you what happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
My co-host and director of operations has always been putting me in for things.
I think that might be me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so she put me in for this speaking gig. It didn't happen. And then they became a TEDx in my city. Now, who knew? And on top of that, look at how God works, right? The TEDx hostess, the visionary, Sasha Walton, and I met, I don't know how many years ago. And I told her, you should be a speaker. She said, no, that's not my lane. So now she's hosting this event and asked me to be one of the coaches. And I felt like an imposter, because how are you going to coach somebody on TEDx stage and you've not been a TEDx speaker? So I said, I won't do that, but what I will do is apply. 81 people applied. 17 slots got filled. And I was fortunate enough to get that one slot. And went on that stage was nervous. See, people say you're never nervous on stage. Every single time. But I take that nervousness and turn it into jet fuel, so that,
oh, I love that,
when I get on stage, when they say lights, camera, action, I'm on. And it was in that moment, all these years, that I realized that God gave me what I wanted. I thought I was going to be an actress on a stage like Broadway or the movies, the cinema, movies. All I said was, I want to be an actress. Well, a speaker is an actor. And I was on one of the biggest stages ever, TEDx.
right.
So did he answer my prayer, or did he answer my prayer? Absolutely he did.
Okay.
And so it was in that moment that I realized, this is where you're supposed to be. Like, I told that to my coach, and she said, was that a surprise to you?
Right. I'm starting to second guess you here.
But it was not a surprise. It was more like a profound internal, deep down revelation. And so now it's like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I was chasing the shiny things all over the place, trying to find me.
Mm-hmm.
Took me a long time. Don't let that be you. Come tonight. Let's uncover it. Let's unravel it. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
Right, because you have the blueprint. Why am I going to do that? I'm going to spend 20 years trying to figure it out? No, ma'am. You have the blueprint. You don't know what you don't know. Well, I love how you always say you can't see the full picture when you're part of the frame. You need somebody else to say, look, you have to be careful and choosy about who those somebody else that you allow speak to you.
Right.
Right. But you need somebody else.
Yes.
That's why you're here.
And that's why, if you're still struggling with your product, your service, your promotion, you're trying to level up your life in your job, and people are not listening to you, they're not seeing you, they don't know that you are the one for the promotion. This is for you. Come tonight, 6 p.m. We're going to drop the link right now so that you know exactly where to come. Click the link, get your ticket, get in where you fit in. I'm going to do a live right before we go on. If you're not listening to this show right now, hopefully you'll see it pop up in your feed and you'll get your ticket today. Today's the last day. It's tonight, 6 p.m. The link is bit.ly/warrior, capital W only there, and then all capitals within. Warrior within, bit.ly, bit, B-I-T, period, there it is, .ly, /
without that backslash.
no backslash,
Yeah.
warrior within. And you will not be sorry. This would be the best investment you've made for 2024. I promise you that.
Yeah. It's professional development. Listen, you're at your company, you're in that kind of place. Let your director, whoever it is above you, know. Here's my opportunity to develop myself. I'm going to get 2024 started on the right foot with the right momentum. I need professional development dollars so that I can be at this training tonight. Who
Yes.
benefits from that? You benefit, the company benefits, we all benefit. When one wins, we all win.
That's right. And in the meantime, you will be receiving workbook activities while we're on tonight, as well as get ready. You'll be able to purchase a full-on book that's coming out in April 2024. The book is coming in April 2024. You want to get a copy of it for pre-sales. We are going to be giving that announcement next week on how to get your book in advance and possibly get your name in the book. How's that? So that's what we have going on. That's what we got going on. And we have the conference coming up in October, right, Shawnee?
October 24th through the 27th in Ocean City, Maryland. Beachfront property. I mean, like beachfront as in now I gotta walk somewhere. I mean, just take the elevator downstairs. You're on the beach. And it's a full suite. Meaning you have not only just a jacuzzi tub, I'm just saying, but you have a full kitchen.
But even more important than the accommodations is the level of camaraderie, the level of empowerment, the level of caliber of women that show up.
The support.
Yes. And it doesn't end at the event.
Nope.
And so we'll be talking more about that on next week.
I have a sister circle from the first year. I have a sister circle from the second year with a group chat that's still very much lively. I was going crazy yesterday, as a matter of fact. But it's that circle, you know, of women who really just want to uplift each other, to hold each other's hands and say, whatever you've been through, it's going to be okay. Whatever you need to know about business, whatever I know, I'm going to share it with you.
Right.
We are going to get to the top together because if you do such, you won't have to be lonely. No, will you?
If you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, these ladies will help you get there. But that's our time for today. We thank you so much for being here. Don't forget tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bit.ly Warrior Within. We'll be there. And I hope you will too. Shawnee, you got anything else you want to just tell the people before we leave?
People, I'm just saying, I'm going to say it again. I need you there. I need you there because I don't want you to miss this opportunity. You know, we have but so many chances and we're on assignment. Yes. Let's do it the effective way, the right way, the quickest way. Just saying. Yeah.
Success leaves clues. I'll be there tonight. You know what time it is. It's time for you to step into your greatness. Because the world is waiting for you. Thank you so much, Mark Lee in the background. Appreciate you. Shawnee Smith, thank you so much. That's our time. See you next week. See you tonight.
Of course, I'm going to see you tonight.